YouTube again. Hello everybody. We're doing our walk and talk. It's gonna be pretty awesome. And I'm just starting to walk, so I just left the house. So this is gonna be a good walk. And yeah, we're gonna take about maybe 30 minutes or so to walk to the trail, because I do like a loop. And then I'm gonna put the extender arm out when I get past like the traffic. You know, everybody's gonna be kind of like watching, like, hey, there's a YouTuber, you know? But yeah, I'm so grateful for all of you who came on earlier. I gotta really learn to navigate this gimbal while I'm walking. But yeah, you know, I'm really awesome. I am really awesome. I'm really happy that I'm doing this walk and talk. The intuition was like, you're gonna go outside and you're gonna do a walk and talk. And I'm like, okay. So I'm sure this is gonna be for somebody. So right now we're about to cross the street and we're gonna turn the camera around. You're all getting to see like what I'm seeing right now. I'm just waiting for the light to change. But yeah, you know, I'm about to drop some wisdom as well. I gotta wait for the light to change here. Remember, staying in the present moment, focusing on the now, right? Like, that's all we have is the now. The past is gone, it doesn't exist, and the future also doesn't exist. You create it in every present moment. But remember, if you choose to keep ruminating in the past, I mean, that's a choice you're making. So like, just remember that. So yeah, we're about to cross the street because the light's about to turn green. A bunch of cars are coming, but they gotta stop. And it's warm today. Let's change the mode. Everybody's gonna be like watching, but it's okay. That's why we break out of our comfort zone. Hello everybody. We're just starting the trail walk. Well, we're gonna be about 30 minutes to the trail, and then I'll be in the trail. So y'all are getting to see the beginning of the walk. And as you can see, we got green grass again. Some of the snow definitely melted. Hey Smith, nice to meet you, brother. A lot of the snow melted today. Yesterday, there's a whole bunch of snow, and now it's gone again, so that's good. So I'm happy, and it's much warmer, but I'm still wearing gloves. So yeah, the trail walk will be about 30 minutes from now, and it's gonna be beautiful, even though it's a lot of clouds right now, as you can see. But yeah, I'm taking like a path. Hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. So grateful for each of you being on. I'm doing just a walk and talk. So I already did one of my lives earlier where I work out and I share wisdom, but this walk and talk is just me kind of shooting the shit as well. And yeah, Diddy for that's awesome. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate you very, very much. That means a lot. Thank you, Smith. What up everybody? So yeah, we're heading to the trail. We're gonna enjoy. Thank you so much. God bless you too. You're awesome. You all are awesome. Just remember that. So yeah, you know, I was talking about the present moment earlier in the live, and I'm gonna continue that little bit of topic. You know, you have the choice to alternate between the past, the current, present, and the future. And every time you are in you're ruminating on the past, and I've been guilty of that for a majority of my life. Always like, I hate things, I hate this, I hate that, you know. My dad's Diddy. You guys are awesome. You guys have your conversation. I was ruminating on the past, like I fucking hate this thing and hate people, and you know, I'm not good, and I keep bringing that into the present moment, and I'm robbing myself of the joy, the gift of what the present moment is, the now. So, and then I would worry about, fuck, I'm not where I am. I'm not where I would like to be. And I'm worrying about the future. Oh, I don't have enough. I don't have this. I don't have that. And I'm robbing again my present. So the thing is, in each present moment, you have the opportunity to shift. And you're shifting to the master creator. You're shifting your present moment as the master creator. Now, what does that mean? What is the master creator? Simply put, the master creator is your God in human form, and you're creating your reality. Now, you have the choice of creating your reality from outside in or inside out. And the thing is, if you're doing it outside in, you're playing the game backwards. Yeah, you guys are having your conversation there. Everybody's welcome on these lives, whether they're just like coming on to like troll or they're spreading love. You're here for a reason. So I appreciate you all very, very much. So yeah, you know, the thing is, like, as I've been growing through this journey, the spiritual development journey, the personal development journey, I asked the question, what the hell is the present moment? How do you get into the present moment? How do you shift? How do you do it? That's the $1,000,000 question. Well, how do you shift in the present moment when you have bills to pay, you have shit hitting the fan left, right, and center, and your world is falling apart? The simplest answer, because it is really just that simple, is to let go of what's happening and focus on your breath. Focus on gratitude. Focus on what you desire to call forth. Because remember, everything already resides within you, and it's just waiting for you to get into vibrational alignment. What is vibrational alignment? It's a very good question. That's what you're feeling inside. If you're feeling like shit, you're feeling afraid, you're gonna get more of that. The universe always gives you what you already have. So if you already have what you have, and you feel like you're lacking, oh, I don't have this and I don't have that, well, guess what? The universe will keep mirroring that you don't have it. And thus it will continue to perpetuate the cycle. And ultimately, you'll stay stuck. Hey there. You'll stay stuck. That's why this is an internal game. And take it from me, the dude who hated all of humanity for 20 some odd years, that wanted to destroy the world and crush every human and all that, who felt like he couldn't change and was destined to be a failure, a loser, an idiot, a piece of shit. Let me just cross over here. Yeah. When I started shifting my world internally, that's when the game started changing. When I started focusing on the internal world, not the external world, hey there, the game started changing. See, once upon a time, those two other versions of me that just passed me, I would have never said hi to people on the street. Even if they don't acknowledge me back, it's okay. I'm not looking for acknowledgement. I'm just reminding people of their divinity. I gotta watch out for this car before it like hits me, but I don't entertain that because it won't. But yeah, you are the master creator, and what you put your focus on, that will continue to grow. So if you keep focusing on, I don't have this, because your 3D reality is showing you don't have it, well, guess what? The universe has an annoying law that will keep telling you don't have it, and thus you're going to keep seeking things outside of you, and you'll never have it. By the way, check that out. How cool is that? I like these things. They're cute. I like that Santa Claus. That's awesome. So this is why I'm very passionate about sharing about being in the present moment, the now. Because, you know, the thing is, when we're seeking things outside of us, which, by the way, everything's already residing within you. You're literally tuning the radio station to the frequency that you're calling, that you desire. So like, you want that, notice I said want, so I'm still catching my words too. When you want or you need, that means you're lacking. That means you don't have. And because you don't have, the universe will keep mirroring that annoying law that you don't have. So when you desire, you already have it within. All you're doing is tuning that frequency to, what is it, 88.8 for wealth, 111.1 for love, let's say. I'm just making up numbers. My point to say all this, and we are going to turn left here. My gimbal is at mid battery, so I should be able to have a full charge for this walk. I'm pretty sure I should be fine. In fact, let me clip off this light accessory because maybe that might be also taking up some of the juice. There we go. We don't have that light on, so it shouldn't be taking extra battery. Yeah, so basically, when you have what you have, and you can only have what you have. You can only have, if you feel like you have the thing, and when I say thing, it could be a partner, it can be material wealth, it could be success, whatever it is, you already have it. Now, let's see. I have two ways. I can go straight and I can do a loop. And I think I'm going to do that because I usually do that. So we're going to keep walking straight. Normally I would turn here, but we will walk straight. And then we're basically coming back in this direction because I'm doing a loop. But I'm going to cut through a school because there's an ice rink that they just set up recently. And I'm curious to see if anybody's skating. But yeah, when you choose to have, and notice the words I just said there, choose to have, not want and not need. Because again, want and need come from a place of lack. And you are a master creator and you ain't lacking anything. And I'm here to remind you of that. So yeah, this is a school. I didn't go to this school. My brother and my sister went to this school as they were growing up. And I would come and pick them up sometimes when my mom couldn't get them. But yeah, I'm gonna be cutting through the school and then we're gonna kind of go that direction over there where that airplane is. And yes, I live by the airport. Well, I currently reside by the airport in Toronto. But when I am in San Diego, California, where I already live within my soul, the airport's also there. So either way, I'm always gonna be around airplanes. And look at all the humans up there. It's awesome. There's like probably at least 100 humans in that airplane. All right, I'm gonna cut through this grass. Grass a little soggy because of the snow and it was melting because the warmer weather today. When I was doing the live earlier, I said I may do a walk and talk, and sure enough, while I was taking a shower, the universe is like, you're gonna go outside and you're gonna do the walk and talk, and you're gonna start the walk and talk as you leave, not when you get to the trail. So for those who have jumped on and heard what I shared just now, that was for you. You may not require at this moment, but your soul, it literally required that seed. But the thing is, remember, you have the answer. I'm just a mirror. I don't know more than you. We all actually know everything, and all we're doing is exchanging information with one another and reminding each other, you have this. Those who desire to help others will always uplift and encourage and remind others that they are exactly the same, just like you. I can hear somebody playing hockey in the ice rink. So during the summer, the ice rink is a tennis court, but then in the wintertime, they put down the boards for the hockey rink, which is literally over there. Now, this school doesn't have the greatest even pavement to play basketball, and they're like, it's like kind of like run down a little bit, but I still play it. I still play basketball here once in a while in the summer, but there's other courts that are near my parents' house that I play, and I go to my old school, the one where I grew up, and obviously got bullied a lot in school and got beat up and picked on. I go there and I play basketball because they have an amazing court. So yeah, remember, like, again, this present moment is the only thing that matters. Like right now, I'm not thinking, what am I gonna have for lunch or dinner when I get back in? My goal right now is to be of service to each of you, and just to remind you that you are the divine sovereign being in human form, and you gotta start thinking and feeling like a god and stop acting like a human, because that's who you are. Gotta be mindful of my battery, but it's okay. If the battery dies on the gimbal, it's okay. I'm gonna hold the phone and we're gonna continue to walk. No perfectionism here. You run with it. But yeah, present moment is all that we have. And you got to ask yourself, well, what does the present moment mean to you? Because everybody has their own definition. And it took me 5 years, and countless of other mirrors. And for those of you who are new to the channel, when I say mirrors, I'm referring to other people. As you can hear, they're playing hockey, and it's a father-son. So he's with his boy playing hockey, which is awesome. I shared on the live earlier that I grew up desiring to be a hockey player, but it got too expensive for my family, because the mindset was like, we don't have enough. So I never obviously continued with hockey, but I always grew up loving hockey. But yeah, that's the court. See? You're all getting to see it. And then they created this thing during the summer where you can work out outside. So I'm so happy that they're prioritizing physical fitness in the area now. And those are some of the swings I would play on when I feel called to play on those ones, like those ones over there. And yeah, so technically the trail is literally like less than 5 minutes away, but we're doing a loop. So we're still gonna be walking around the neighborhood. I'm gonna be crossing like a street to go into the other side of the neighborhood, and then I'm gonna do like another loop, and then we'll be in the trail. And then we're actually full circling, coming back around this area and coming up. So yeah, I'm grateful for every one of you who would like to just stick on to this walk and talk live and just shoot the shit with me. And yeah, but I'm so damn grateful that today warmed up and I'm able to do this walk and talk. And I trust that my gimbal will last until I finish the trail walk. And yeah, usually when I'm walking like the trail, I take different directions, different paths, but different paths lead to the same destination. So that's an analogy for life. Just because you or your peers or you're walking one way doesn't mean that you have to walk that same way. You can walk a different path and you can still have the same desired outcome. Society has told you like, oh, you have to be this and do this. No. You do what you choose to. And I will apologize in advance. I am on data, so like here and there the internet will cut in and out, so I might get blurry or it might be pixelated. So for those who are watching, as long as I sound clear, it should be fine. But the audio or the video might be pixelated because I'm only having one bar at the moment, but it's okay. We'll run with it. There are certain things in life you simply can't control, and you have to let go of that control. And we're gonna pause for a moment because there's a lot of loud noise here, so I can get my train of thought. Yeah, so letting go of the control of what you can't control. There are things that you can control within yourself, and then there are things that you can't control that's outside of you. And a lot of us, we attempt to control the things outside of us, and 9 times out of 10, shit starts hitting the fan, and it ain't good. All right, so just so y'all know, this is the trail. Like, this is where I used to start walking my trail, but we're taking a longer loop. But we'll make it back to this loop, this area. So I will be crossing the street. Obviously, safety first. Got to be mindful of these cars. So I'm going to press the little button here. Even though there's like no cars coming. Well, there is one, but I'm already past, so they can continue to go. And yeah, so we are going this way instead of that way. And yes, that's another airplane there. I don't have the selfie stick extended, so I'm literally having to put the camera up, like hold my hand up for you guys to see it. But yeah, being in the present moment. It's the only thing that really matters. How you feel in this present moment. Now, a lot of us feel afraid to feel the feelings because it's terrifying, it sucks, it's painful, and we don't want to go through that pain. We've already experienced it maybe once, maybe twice, maybe countless of times, and why would you want to feel that pain? Well, because you're holding on to something that you're no longer required. I was going to go straight, but I decided to make a left turn and take a loop into this part of the neighborhood. And yeah, you know, the thing is, like, when you are holding on to something that's awesome. For my Indian fans, there's some Indian music for you. But yeah, you know, when you're feeling some things that you don't want to feel and you stuff it down, guess what? That's energetic garbage that's in your system that you're not letting out. Take my story for example. I put 20 plus years of trash and negativity, like negative energy and sludge and filth, and covering the real me. Do you know how I had to feel those feelings? I had to cry that shit out countless of times. And once upon a time, every single one of us had to cry when we were a child. And for my men out there who are like, I don't want to cry, I'm a man, listen up. You're actually more of a man if you actually share your feelings and feel your feelings. Creator created you to have those glands in your eyes so that you can cry it out. Otherwise, you would have never had those glands to cry. In fact, it would have been sealed up. But a lot of men specifically, I'm not saying it's not only men, there are women too who don't feel their feelings. Actually, there are quite a few women who don't feel their feelings because they had to they have to be tough and strong and survive. But for each of you, because now I'm going to speak to the collective, you have feelings. They do matter. Feel what you have to feel. Let it out and liberate yourself once and for all. Let it go. It's not going to be easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. And it may not happen right away. And you have to let go of that outcome of, why can't I let go of this feeling? The feeling will be let go of when the time is aligned for you to let go of it. And everything does serve you. However, if you know that there's something much deeper and that you're just living at like a survival level, I'm here to remind you that it's time for you to transcend, because you found this channel and you bet your ass that I'm taking you with me and we're elevating our consciousness together. I ain't keeping you stuck. You ain't less than. You are more than enough. You are God in human form. You are the infinite intelligence. Go back to when you were a child. Maybe you've had a bad upbringing. Some of you definitely had a bad upbringing. Some of you don't feel called to relive because it could be very traumatizing. I get it. You may have experienced something so traumatic that you're blocking it out because you never want to feel that feeling again. Also get it. And that sound was a squirrel, Bubba. It's in the tree. But yeah, you have to process those feelings. Otherwise, those feelings are going to run you. Your emotions. You are not your emotions, but your emotions are going to run you. You must feel your feelings. I can't emphasize that enough. I was the dude who did not feel his feelings, who shut down all of his feelings, who didn't give a flying fuck about like feeling my like crying and feeling things out, because I thought that if you are a man, you cannot cry. You have to be tough and strong and all this bullshit that society has been wiring into our minds to keep us like stuck and programming us, and then perpetuating a dumbass cycle that should have never existed in the first place. But it existed for all of us to collectively, not just one person, not just a few people, but all of us to grow together. It's all of our journeys. All of us are rediscovering ourselves from a different perspective. Hey, there's a taco in the tree. Look at that. Does this taco have a face? Yes, it does. It has a hand. Cool, look at that. Look at that taco. How awesome is that? That's pretty dope. See, you never know what you'll find. Stuff like that brings me into my inner child. I love it. So yeah, I deprogrammed my feelings. There's a lot of birds by that building. I deprogrammed my feelings because I was like, are you kidding me? I'm not gonna feel my feelings. Fuck that. No. Why should I feel my feelings? People are just gonna laugh at me. They're gonna insult me. They're going to make me feel even worse than I already am. So why should I feel my feelings? It may as well just be stone cold and I don't mean to wrestler, but I mean be stone cold and not feel my feelings. Have ice in my veins. I'm gonna tell you something. I was a dude. If someone remotely close, doesn't matter who it was, got close to me, I'd be ready to tear them to shreds. And I share this because I saw everybody as danger to me, foreign. Everybody felt like danger. And I was scared shitless to be around people. because I thought like, I'm less than, I'm not good. And then sure enough, like I kept perpetuating that state for 20 years, and it morphed into extreme hatred for the world. But when I was born, I wasn't born with hate. Where the hell did that come from? It was programmed into me from my own experiences that I created, because I created my reality. I'm the master creator. So we're back on a street. I'm going to be turning right, and then I'm going to cross another set of lights, and then I'm going into another neighborhood, and then it should take about maybe 10 minutes or so to get to the trail, and then we're in the trail. And you see this bridge here? We're literally coming right around full circle. So, well, we'll be underneath the bridge. So this is how I get my like 10K a day, or whenever I do my walks, at least 10,000 steps in. Look, it's a squirrel, Bubba. Hi, squirrel. Look how cute it is. See, it's not running from me because it feels the energy from me. When you work on your internal energy, animals can feel your energy, your vibration, and they can see you as a threat or see you as not a threat. So like, hey there. So basically, that's what I'm saying. Like, I started really working internally with my feelings, my energy, and the animals can feel, oh, is this human safe? Should we be around this human? Oh, hello. It's you. Hello, I appreciate you. I'm here to serve your soul, even though I know, well, you'll say whatever. I'm just going to continue to share, because I was once like you, and I was actually worse than you at one point. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on, Rubicon. Let's see. So yeah, I didn't feel my feelings, and I was just pissed off and angry, and my vibration was always in a mess. And literally I was like, well, fuck. You're welcome. Oh, it turned green. Look at that. I just didn't even notice. Thank you, lights. Crossing over the lights. Yeah, like, I really emphasizing that, when you work internally with your vibration, your emotional centers, you literally change the trajectory of your life. That's okay. I love you too, and it's okay if I'm flaky. That's all good. Oh, wanted to get out of his way. It may take time for you to resonate with me, and it's okay. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I really am not. Like, and I'm not here to people please or pander. I am who I am, and I was created exactly as I am, just like you. And there are people who are going to like you, and there are people that's not going to like you, and that's okay. We're unique, individualized expression of the Creator. A lot of us are on the journey now figuring that out. A lot are still living the old paradigm, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. So I'm going to decide, let's see, we're going to go straight or we're going to turn left. I think we're going to turn left. My intuition is saying we're going to go this way. So we're going this way. Again, multiple directions to go to the same path, the same trail. So like, again, that's an analogy for life, or, whatever direction you want to go in life, you were given free will to choose. Nobody's here to tell you. You have the choice to either live, you have the choice to live however you choose to. That is your God-given birthright. We have people telling others what to do. I am simply just a mirror to remind you of your divinity. That's it. I'm not here to tell you what to do. There's a doggy. There's a doggy, Bubba. Is he on his leash? I don't know if he's on his leash. Oh. Nope. I'm just let him just chill there. Hi, Bubba. Hi, Bubba. Hi, Bubba. Hi, Bubba. He's like, his owner is somewhere, but I don't know where his owner is. Hi. Hi, Bubba. Hi. Hi. It's okay. You're okay. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. You're good. You're good. You're good. He doesn't know what to do. He's like, he doesn't have his like leash on and stuff. So I'm gonna continue my walk, but yeah. His neighbor usually puts him on his leash because sometimes I see him, but this time he's not on his leash. I don't know. I don't know where his neighbor is, but he's just barking. I love animals. I love them. But like, sometimes like you have to, like, he didn't feel comfortable with me. So I don't want to like press, you know what I'm saying? And plus, I wanted to continue my walk. I don't know why he left his dog off his leash like that. But yeah, it is all about energy. It literally is all about energy. Again, your vibrational state. That's why it all comes down to how you feel and what you feel about yourself. And what you feel about yourself internally will mirror out, whether good or bad, even though good and bad is one and the same. But we created that paradigm of good and bad because in the 3D world, that's duality. We live in the world of dualism. But when we transcend the dualistic world, the fifth dimension and beyond, it's all one. But yes, people have died thinking like you. What do you mean by that? Explain, I'm curious. I care about that dog. Don't think I don't care about that dog. I really do. I care about how it's suffering right now and it's barking. But the thing is, that dog and the owner, I don't know where the owner is because the owner left the music on. Animals rip you into pieces. I don't know what to say. I'm gonna leave it at that with you. It's true. Thing is, like, you know, there are other humans who will never, ever, and I'm going to repeat this, will never, ever, ever like me, no matter how nice or kind I am. Because even though I care about them, I care about everybody. I don't judge anybody anymore like I used to. I hated everybody at one point. I will agree to disagree on that one, but I'll let you keep sharing because it's good. I like people like yourself that can shift the perspective. I'm curious. That's why, like, I'm grateful for like you because you're a mirror. Rubicon, you are a mirror. You're sharing from your perspective, your experience, what you know to be true to you. And I'm not saying you're wrong at all. So yeah, I appreciate you. I really do. More than you know. But yeah, you know, the thing is, like, I'm gonna get back on like topic here for a moment. When I was like hating the world and having like shitty moods and shitty energy inside, I was getting more of the same, and people were mirroring that out. And whenever something like nice or somebody nice or kind was coming into my frequency, my low vibrational frequency, I'd push them away because I saw them as foreign. I saw them as a threat, and I would find a way to either eliminate that threat. And when I say eliminate, I don't mean to like obviously kill them, but I mean to say to deal with them by getting out of my energy, like stay the fuck away basically. And you know, over time, like I pushed a lot of good people away. Now, everything had to happen exactly the way it was supposed to happen in the end. That's how I'm seeing life now. Like, there are people that are going to come and go in your life. People have come and they have left because I'm constantly evolving and changing. And I'm not saying that they're not evolving, they're not changing, they are too, but we just get out of a vibrational alignment. We're not in the same frequency anymore, and we just go our separate ways. And the thing is, I only have love and respect for them, and I always will. But I just move forward. We all have to just continue to keep moving forward. We can keep looking to the past and focusing on the past, or we can move forward and shift to the now. All right, so we're going this way. We're almost at the trail. I promise, we're almost at the trail. Just a little bit more and we'll be down in the trail. I'm grateful for the weather right now because usually my hands would be freezing. It'd be cold. I usually freeze very quickly in wintertime. So I'm grateful that it was warm enough for me to like do this walk and talk. And even though I've only been out for about 42 minutes based on the time of the live, I'm grateful. But yeah, you know, like people are gonna come and go, and I stopped like chasing, and I'm only magnetizing those who desires to be a part of my journey. I'm not forcing anybody to be here. If I had to be alone and I was meant to just be alone for the rest of my life, then so be it. I'm okay with that. I know what it feels like to be like physically alone for a very long time. Let's just put it that way. And it doesn't feel good, but then I didn't have the perspective back then that I was really never alone. That, you know, God or universe, whatever name you give it, is always with you. The very fact that everything here that you're looking at is a creation of God, and because us humans are a creation of God, and we created a lot of these things, so thus this is the creation of God. How can I be alone? Yes, we desire like human connection, like someone to talk to, but you know, you have to have a relationship with yourself, and a lot of us forget that we are our own relationship. And I had to learn firsthand, not to be reminded firsthand, that I have to have a relationship with me. Otherwise, no matter who I called into my life, whether it was like a friend, a brother, like a soul brother, a soul sister, a romantic partner, I would self-sabotage and push them away because I didn't know how to handle being in any kind of like relationship, whether platonic or romantic or, you know, family-like. I'd always like push it away. So these are the things I had to like learn to do, to work with the internal world of my energy, of my feelings and my emotions. Emotions is nothing but energy in motion. That's all that is. And yeah, here we are 5 years later. And throughout the 5 years, it's been up and down. Like, I didn't know if I was going in the right direction. Half the time, I felt like I was sharing this earlier in the live, that I felt like I was taking 10 steps backwards, even though I felt like I was making progress. But in reality, even those 10 steps backwards is still progress, because it's reminding me, another doggy boa, but this one's inside. I have to remind myself that it is still progress. We think that we have fallen down the mountain, but we haven't fallen down the mountain. We literally haven't fallen down the mountain. There's just another peak that we have to keep going. That's all it is. And all the progress that you've attained, that you've mastered, doesn't mean that you lost it. That's what I was making that fatal mistake, that I thought that, shit, I'm getting angry, I'm getting mad, I'm getting fucking mad that I was going backwards and that I wasn't spiritual anymore. That could be far from the truth. In fact, the very fact that you're feeling your feelings means that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and you're living the version of you that you're supposed to be living. All right, everybody, we're about to hit the trail. As soon as I turn this corner here, we will be at the trail. And that's normally where I start my walk and talk. So I know a bunch of you were on earlier, and so this actually took 46 minutes to walk, because I took some extra like loops and stuff. But yeah, now we are gonna head to the trail. We're gonna turn left here, and that takes us down into the trail. So here we go. So this is where I usually start the trail walk whenever I come out for the walk. And I really enjoy this trail. I really do, because it helps me to shift my perspective a lot on things. If I'm seeing things one way, to come here to like look at it from a different perspective. Like right now, you all are seeing this from a different perspective. Like I'm getting to view it through the camera lens. Like I'm watching the camera lens and walking down. I'm not actually looking ahead of me. I'm looking on the camera to see how it looks and such. So I'm curious to see how the trail looks, because we did have snow, and yeah, now we're starting the trail walk. So to those who are still on, we are now commencing the trail walk. But I'm so grateful to you, Rubicon, for sharing your perspective. I appreciate you. I really do. I really do. But yeah, here we are. We're down in the trail now. Now, when we start the trail walk here, sometimes the data starts kind of going wonky, and I'll either cut out or it'll be very pixelated. And it might be out of sync, but it's okay. We're gonna run with it. I can't control that. So yeah, that's one of the swings that I usually swing on. And for those two who are still on, hello, hello, hello. We're just starting the trail walk now. We've been on live for about almost 50 minutes. And I am gonna turn left. And we're gonna just continue to talk about being in the present moment, and why it's very important to remind yourself to live in the present moment and not of the past. It's okay to reflect on the past. I'm not saying to never reflect on the past and never to think about the future. That is not what I'm sharing. I'm saying to not stay there and worrying about that. So yeah. Hey there. So Right now I should be somewhat pixelated, or it might be okay. But basically, yeah, you know, when I man, all the time I wasted, but it wasn't really wasted time, because everything happened exactly the way it was supposed to. I choose to see that from a different perspective. I didn't actually waste any time. But, you know, could I have learned things quicker, or could I have been made aware of things quicker? For sure. But I got in my own way because I kept thinking it had to be this way, and I would ruminate on the past because of my past experiences that shaped me, and I had to and I was resistant to change. So change for me was like death. Well, here's the thing. I didn't know that I could change, but if anything outside of me was changing, I had a very difficult time to accept change. Very difficult time to accept change. Change for me was like death. Change for me, like, let's say we were changing something in the workplace, something just like a policy that you can't like wear this anymore. I had a really hard time of change because I'm not the type of person who likes to be told what to do. And I know a bunch of you don't like to be told what to do either. And I'm mindful with the words that I use, because I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to remind you that you're the master creator and you have the choice. The power is always with you. And I'm just here to make you aware of that if you've forgotten that. And a lot of people just forgotten that. And it's just a simple reminder, a gentle reminder, a kind reminder that you are the master creator. That's it. I can't believe yesterday, well, I didn't walk here yesterday, but it was full of snow. Guarantee here was full of snow, because when I went after my live yesterday, after the long 4-hour live, and I went to go to the mall that was nearby. I walked there, and it was like snowy. It was heavy snow, and it felt like a full-on winter storm. And yes, there's still some remnants of snow, but because it's so warm, the snow just melted. So it's pretty cool that I was guided to come out for this walk to just share. Now, if I had started the live as I just came down to the trail, there'd be like more people on, but it is where it's meant to be. The two of you, or however many people are on, I'm grateful for you for sticking on and just kind of like being here and just like enjoying this peaceful trail walk. By the way, check that out. It's just like, it's so calm. I'm gonna go check the water because it's awesome. By the way, you know, when I don't bring my phone down to the trail and I don't listen to any like music or anything, and there's like nobody here, it is so peaceful. It is incredibly peaceful. Like, I don't hear like car noise or like any, like right now I heard like a car there, but like normally it's very quiet, and I'm just with my thoughts and my feelings and feeling what I'm meant to feel. And nature is a great reminder and a great mirror of this, to reflect. It allows me to see things differently. Maybe I'm not seeing it in a certain way. Maybe I require another lens, like a camera, like how you can change the lens. You can go from narrow to wide. Yeah, you know, it's yeah, the water is flowing right now because it's warm. But I remember when I came down the last time, there was a bit of ice. But I'm definitely not going to go down because a little muddy. But yeah, there is the water. It's beautiful. It's peaceful. especially in the summertime, like when it's hot, it's absolutely amazing. I can put my feet in the water and just chill down here for hours. And we saw like one other soul down here with me. There might be a couple others as we're walking. But yeah, this is how quiet this trail is, especially during this time of the year. In the summertime, it's very busy. Well, when I say very busy, I mean to say it's 100 times busier than it be. So that means there'd be like 10 or 15 people like riding their bike back to back to back and all that. That would be considered busy, but it's not like metropolitan, like downtown Toronto busy or downtown New York City busy. I know the phone is still wobbling, but I know the gimbal is attempting to keep it as stable as possible. So I do apologize if there's a little bit of wobbly. I didn't pull out the selfie stick. I'm just like holding the gimbal and attempting to not have any vibration, but it's okay. It's all good. It's not as bad as like when I'm walking holding the phone just with my hand and you can see it like shaking. Oh, it's just peaceful right now. I'm at peace. And I'm so grateful that I came out. The sun is definitely going down very soon. By the time I get back to the house, it probably will be dark, most likely, or it'll be close to being dark because it's getting dark like super fast now. Now I think the dark starts happening around like 4:50. Right now it's 4:04 Eastern Standard Time in Toronto. But yeah, you know, in about a week or so, we will be. Why did you nearly die twice in 2020, basically, brother? So in 2020, I had 2 incidents. I had a spider bite. A poisonous spider bit my right hand while I was asleep, and I woke up and my right hand was completely like it was like swollen to the max, let's just say. And I didn't know. I thought it was just a mosquito bite or something. And thankfully the poison didn't go up my system. It was just kind of lingering. But I was working out with that swollen hand because, you know, I wasn't going to miss a workout. And yeah, the doctor, I saw this red line going up my arm after I finished the workout, and it was near my heart. And I ran to the hospital, and thank God there was no COVID line in the morning. And the nurse who saw my hand, she's like, we got to get you into ER right fucking now. We got to get you in there. And sure enough, it was an act of God, because this is where I was starting to learn to build faith. Not even belief anymore, because I had already learned about belief, now about faith. The doctor who saw me, he looked at my hand and he already knew what had happened without me even saying a word. He looked at it because, you know why? He had the same thing happen to him when he was a kid. He remembered that he got bit by a poisonous spider, and the type of spider that bit me was a yellow sac spider. And he basically said, dude, you are lucky you came in when you did, because if you had let this linger for a couple hours more, you would have died, because it would have spread through the heart, and then the heart would have spread it everywhere. Wow. Happened to you too. Dang. I'm so grateful that you're still here. Still grateful you're still here. So that was incident number 1. And then I got pumped with IV and anti-venom for a week and a half. So that was partially, I was still doing some workouts, but I could only do it obviously with one arm, because I had this portable IV machine at home 24/7 pumping IV into my system and anti-venom. So I was walking around, I could barely take a shower. I had to like sponge down, which sucked. And I'd have to go to I have to drive with one like arm, which wasn't hard, but like it was annoying that I couldn't use the other arm to like do what I had to do, because I had this IV shit in my arm. And essentially, yeah, I had to go get that bag change once every 3 days. And then that lasted for a week and a half. I didn't realize, oh, there's an airplane. Let's do that. Didn't the spider feel your kindness vibe? Back then, dude, I was still figuring shit out. The thing is, look, here's the thing, yes, they can feel your feelings, but at the same time, they are also instinctual beings that you will do what they're meant to do. And I have to deal with it. Shit like that is gonna happen, no matter how kind you are. So yeah, that's when you were saying what you were saying, you were right. They're wild, they will hurt you, 100%. They will hurt you. I'm just reminding you that it's not just black or white. It's both. It's holding like both as truth. The problem with us humans, the problem with us humans, which isn't a problem. So let me rephrase my words. The thing with us humans is we tend to hold it either black or white. It can't be this or it can't be that. It can't be both. It has to be one or the other. So I'm learning in this process right now of holding things as both as true. That's why I'm not saying you're wrong. You're not wrong. You're absolutely spot on. It didn't feel my kindness and it bit the fuck out of me. And it weakened, so obviously that the IV and the anti-venom weakened my immune system to a point, and then in between that near-death experience and my second near-death experience, my uncle passed away with a brain aneurysm. He was 51. So I had already realized that I was close to death. Then he passed away, and that was a reminder that to be grateful. All these lessons were to teach me gratitude, just so you know. And then a few days later, I was forced into going into the office when I said I do not want to come into the office to do work when I could do it from home. And I've been doing it from home for almost a full year at that point. But they were like, you have to come in and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, fine, whatever. So I came in, and as I was coming into work, somebody must have did a drive-by in our subway, our trains, and I obviously was wearing, we had to, the mask shit. Hey brother, it's good to see you. What was I gonna say? Somebody did drive-by, I picked up COVID, and obviously there was no like vaccines back then. That was like way before the vaccines. And then I was in the office, I felt very sick. I didn't know why. I left the house perfectly fine. And then during the mid-afternoon, I'm like, hey, I'm not making an excuse. I know you guys know that I don't want to be here, but I'm telling you that I do not feel well. I have to go home. And I got back on the train, they let me go home and finish the rest of my shift for my day at home. But when I got home, I was with this big fever. And I felt some weird shit that I've never felt before. And then I dragged myself to the hospital the following day because I thought I could sleep it off. And sure enough, I collapsed when I get to the hospital. I fucking collapsed. And I drove to the hospital And I could have, if I had collapsed in the car while I was driving, I would have taken someone out. So God, the universe, source, had me drive, park the car, have me walk to the hospital, which was like only a 5-minute walk. And because the parking lot was full, so I had to park the car. And basically, I collapsed when I got into the hospital. And then I woke up in the ICU with a tube in my mouth. And I didn't know what the fuck happened. And I was there for 3 weeks. And every day, this is why I'm so grateful. And I say at the beginning of the lives, I am so grateful to be alive that I get another day, because I know what it feels like to be in a hospital bed. What was it? It was COVID, because my immune system was so fucking weakened by the IV and anti-venom, and then COVID hit, so I was having like a nuclear reaction in my body, and it caused a whole bunch of shit that basically said, we have to get you to the hospital, you need to just be there. And it was to teach me gratitude, because I wasn't grateful still. I wasn't grateful for the life I was given. That was the greatest lesson that I had to learn. I came down here to learn gratitude, and throughout my entire life, I didn't know what gratitude was. I didn't know what gratitude felt like. Even when people said, I am grateful for blah, 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 I didn't ever said any of that, because I never understood or understood what gratitude was. And when I was in that hospital bed, seeing people dying every day, because in the ICU in Toronto, in my hospital, we were in practically a circular room, and the nurses had to monitor us. And it was a plexiglass between our rooms, so I could see people passing away, left, right, and center. And every day I got to wake up and see another day. That's the reason why I'm here. Because in that time of me learning and getting a proper mindset, there was a story that I read in a book that talked about soldiers in World War I and World War II, where some of them died and some of them survived. And what was the difference between the ones that died and one that survived? Mindset. And that was what I was working on, my mindset in 2020, really. And in that story, they talked about how, they were in bunkers, how people were in bunkers and bombs were being thrown into the bunkers, but some of them survived and some of them did not. And the difference was the ones who had somebody to go home to, that they had somebody waiting for them back then. They had something to fight for. Their mindset prevented them from dying, basically. They said, I'm not fucking dying here. I'm gonna make it back to my woman. I'm gonna make it back to her and my child or whatever. And they did. And the ones that had nobody to go back home to, they basically kind of gave up the loss. They gave up their will to fight, and then they died. They had the same circumstances. And what was the difference? Mindset. Maybe there's some other factors, we don't know. But the contributing factor to all this is mindset. So when I was laying in the hospital bed, I saw people dying. Majority of them were older than me, but there was a couple young ones that were there too. And not everybody died, thank God, but a lot of people bit the dust. And that was a reminder every day to say that I am grateful, because I got to open my eyes and see another day. And when I used to share this to people, and I don't really talk about it as much anymore, because I don't keep perpetuating the story, but I use this story as inspiration. But when I would share this story, I would be getting very fucking emotional right about now. I'd be either crying a tear right about now or sharing. You know, like when I'm sharing, I'd be like very teary-eyed. Now, like, I see it as inspiration, that it taught me gratitude, that I'm still here, that I'm getting to be able to, you know, be live and share a story with you all. By the way, this is one of my favorite parts of the trail. I don't know, there's something about it, it's just cool. Here's some of the sun is definitely is going down right now, but I like the water here. It's just very peaceful. But yeah, you know, it was to teach me gratitude. And again, you're right. Was my feelings going to prevent me from, you know, not getting COVID? Was all that going to prevent me from not getting into the hospital? Of course not, because that was a physical thing, and physical things do happen. It's like, for example, you were talking about, you know, when the dog was there. Imagine it was a fucking lion, bro. Do you think I'd be standing there? Hell fucking no. It would be eating me alive. Because if it hasn't been trained, and I know that dog has been trained, it didn't come running to me, because I could tell. Some dogs, when they're like loose, they will run up to you, and they have a distinct look in their face. And I used to be terrified of dogs, fucking terrified of dogs. You have no idea. In fact, I was bitten by a German Shepherd when I was 5 years old in the elevator, and the elevator got stuck. And I gained 2 phobias in one shot. Because the elevator got stuck, the lights went out, we lost power in the elevator, the dog went crazy, and it nipped me on my right leg. I was fucking scarred for the majority of my life, and I was terrified of dogs. I was scared shitless. And I have to learn that they can feed off my fear. They can feed off my energy. Most of them. So like when you were saying, you were right. You're spot on. Stress is a huge contributing factor to disease. Exactly. Positive mindset is healthy for your body. It is not the same as being naive. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you. I appreciate you for sharing that. I'm so grateful you're on right now. But yeah, you know, like so that's the thing. I use the story of the veterans in World War I and World War II, that I have something to fight for, and I'm not dying. Because if I told myself, yep, that's the end of my life, yep, I'm gonna die, guess what? I wouldn't probably be here right now. Because I remembered that story, and the universe had me read that book for a specific reason, and that story stuck out prevalent from that book. I forget what book it was. But it stuck with me, and it helped me cultivate the positive mindset to stay alive. That no, I'm getting out of this hospital bed. I don't know when, but I'm getting out of the hospital bed. And sure enough, I got out. It took a little while for me to fully recover, but I got out and I got back to a healthy version of me. And that was the only time that I missed out on working out. So basically, from the spider bite to being in the ICU for about 3 weeks or so, in total, I missed about, I think, 40 days of working out from the 5 years. But ever since I was able to, and of course when I came back and I had to like recover a bit, I didn't work out there either. So about 40 days I missed of working out. And then every day when I started feeling better, I never stopped working out. I just continued to keep doing and being and challenging myself and cultivating my positive mindset and making sure I wasn't in toxic positivity, because that was also a thing too, that I had to be reminded that sometimes you have to feel your feelings. You can't just be like what my brother said, you can't be naive. And I wasn't being naive. I was making sure like I'm feeling my feelings. If I feel like shit, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I feel like shit. But how long do I stay in feeling like shit? Feel the feelings. Let it out. And that's where we are today. So, energy does matter. Remember, I'm the dude who was the most skeptical human on this planet, who didn't believe in any of this hocus pocus mumbo jumbo shit of energy. Are you fucking kidding me? Energy. Yeah, okay. Sure. That's how I used to think. I was very fixed mindset, closed mindset. Because I had to see it to believe it, not believe it or know it to see it. Hey there. So basically, yeah, like I had to shift all that internally to become, not even to become, to return back to the real version of me before all of the things that had happened in my life. And I'm not blaming anything outside of me. I'm taking fucking responsibility for everything that I created. Whether it was outside of me or inside of me, I am taking responsibility for all that. And I refuse to give away my power again. And I refuse for every one of you to give your power away to anything ever again. That is why you found this channel. This is our channel. This is not my channel. This is our channel. We are growing together, period, the end. I'm building a community of like-minded leaders, entrepreneurs, whatever you want to call yourself, or just like-minded souls who choose to live and see life differently than what they've been told all of their life. And yes, again, to my brother who talked about stress. Stress is the #1 contributor to death. Literally. For those who saw my photo of me in 2018, chubby, fat, overweight, heavy, that dude was stressed to the max, and he kept eating crap to feel better, and became a cycle, a vicious cycle to continue. And I would burn out that sugar and continue to eat more sugary things that made me feel good, but it was a vicious cycle because sugar makes you crash after a certain amount of time. And look, I'm not saying not to have that, everything in balance, everything in moderation, but what I'm saying, that was my fucking diet. Drinking like 4 French vanillas a day, no, fuck it, 5 or 6 French vanillas a day. Eating the crappiest shit that you could put into your body, and then, you know, stressing because I couldn't fulfill the workload because my boss believed in me. I didn't believe in myself that I could do it. So of course I take responsibility for my own part in this, but at the same time I was overwhelmed with so much to do. I was doing the work of like 6 other people, and I couldn't handle it anymore, and I had to cope, and I used food as a coping mechanism, especially junky food, as a coping mechanism to feel better, and that became its vicious cycle. By the way, I totally been like, shooting the shit, but like, this is like the park I usually like chill at, and like I'm just chilling here, and usually the sun is like right over here, and it's like beaming down. It's friggin' awesome. And when we started the trail walk, or when we started, I was sharing that we were over there earlier and we came back. So we're basically full circle, and we already went under a bridge. I used to be really overweight too. I lost like over 30 kilos. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you. I am so fucking proud of you. You have no idea. I'm so proud of you for choosing better for yourself. That's why you're here. I'm so proud of you. Even for those who still have whatever weight they may have been carrying, I'm still proud of you regardless. because you're here. By the way, in the fall time, this scenery here, it might be a little pixelated right now, but this scenery right here, you're welcome, brother, has like a Bob Ross painting feeling. So basically, for those of you who know Bob Ross, the old painter dude with the afro, who would paint like trees and stuff, when you see this in fall time, it's just incredible. The colors, like orange, green, yellow, reds, like just the mixture. It's got that's why I call it the Bob Ross painting. But in wintertime, well, you can't really appreciate it for what it really is on the camera, because but I still appreciate it regardless. There's no Canada Goose Bubbas today because it's so cold, and I see some of the water has a little bit of ice, so they're not in the water. There's probably like a couple ducks here and there, but that's about it. But in the springtime, I've seen the Canada goose be like the tiny little babies, and they grow up so fast. Within like the summer, they're like full adults. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy how fast they grow. But yeah, stress. Stress was a #1 factor why what up, Anthony? I'm so grateful for you for being on too. Thank you so much. I love my walk and talk. I love my trail walks. But yeah, stress was the #1 factor of why I was super overweight, eating a lot of crap, and stress is the #1 killer, basically, plain and simple. And it was and basically stress is, there's healthy stress, and like when you're working out, you're stressing the body, and there's some cortisol being pumped. But the thing is, my cortisol was being pumped all the time in my system. I was in fight or flight or even freeze mode. Thank you, brother. I plan to do more walk and talks. Well, within a week or so, we'll be in San Diego. So you won't be seeing winter weather. You'll be seeing summer weather. You'll be seeing a whole other, you'll be seeing differently for a whole month. But yeah, I'm really grateful that I didn't give up on myself when I could have thrown in the towel, especially when I was in the hospital bed back in 2020. But the universe is like, no, you didn't come down here to die so soon. And I said that to myself. I'm like, wait a minute. You're to tell me that you had me go and I had to use the word learning back then, because back then I didn't think I knew what I knew, but we all have the information within inside of us, and all we're doing is reflecting back to one another that you already have the information within and making you aware. But I'm going to use learning for this context. I went through all this learning for me to die. Are you fucking kidding me? There's no goddamn way I'm dying right now. There is no way. There's no way. You had me learn all of this shit for me to die. There's no way. There must be a reason why I'm in this hospital bed. And that reason was to learn gratitude. And I don't mean just fake gratitude, but really feeling what gratitude felt like. Oh my God, I get to wake up. I have another fucking day here. I get to be here. Hear the word I just said there. I get to be here. And yes, life isn't always sunshines and rainbows. And yes, sometimes life hits you hard and it feels like death. But I'm still grateful that I'm here. I went through the last 6 months, being in a dark night of the soul, not knowing, why am I here, God? What is the purpose? Thank you. I appreciate you for saying that. I'm so grateful for you, honestly. But yeah, you're right. I had to learn to accept myself. I didn't have self-acceptance. I didn't accept myself for who I am, what I was. I thought I had to be something else. But yeah, that being in the hospital and laying there, there's no fucking way that I'm dying because you had me go through all of this learning for what? For me to die? I don't think so. So while I was in that hospital bed, yes, I wasn't physically working out, but guess what I was doing? I was mentally working out. I was having mental fitness so that when I got back home, I was ready to rock and roll. And sure enough, things started to open up even faster. And that's where spirituality started coming into play. Spirituality only started kicking in around mid 2021 after I had a financial scam. And here's the thing, I've been scammed a lot. I lost a lot of money. In fact, I lost $1 million. I lost 42,000, but I made $1 million out of that 42 out of a crypto scam. It wasn't real, but I had to learn the lesson. But here's the thing, I used to play myself as the victim. But the thing is, I had a great perspective shift. And that perspective shift was, you just deposited that money to the universe. And it's coming back to you in ways you can never even imagine. And sure enough, it has. And likewise, I also appreciate you. Your contribution is very powerful for healing your heart and guiding others, including myself. You are so welcome. We are just mirrors for one another. You're healing me too, in every present moment. Your words are powerful. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for both of you. I'm grateful for every one of you that's on. Even those who like Christopher, Mr. Popular Man, who isn't on right now, which I'm sure he'll probably say, it's you again. I'm grateful for him. I'm grateful for everybody, like Olga, like Tiny Problem, like everybody else who jumps on consistently. There's 2 other souls behind me. I can hear them like chatting, but it's okay. I've had the trail for practically the entire trail by myself, so now it's okay to have some noise. But yeah, I had mental fitness while I was in that hospital bed, and I capitalized on that because a lot of that work or play, because I'm changing the word from work to play now because play is awesome. A lot of that playtime in 2020 was preparing me for that hospital event, for me to handle it. The universe, God, source, truth, insert name, only gives you things that you can handle and that you're ready for. It only provides you things that you are ready for. And even if you feel like you're not ready, you are technically ready for it because you can handle anything, literally. But, the thing is, like for me in my journey, spirituality didn't come in until mid 2021 after I got hit with the crypto scam, and I had to lose everything to take a shot at myself and see, okay, I lost everything. I had to cry it out. Okay, shit. And then like, okay, what do we do now? Do we continue to perpetuate in the past and fear, or do we keep moving forward? Do we continue to keep, being stuck and feeling afraid, or do we keep moving forward? And sure enough, I had to move forward. And sure enough, a lot of souls came into my life to be mirrors, to remind me of my divinity, and they became I put them on pedestals for a while. I called them my teachers, and I was their student. They never wanted me to call them their teachers because I was equal to them, but I never saw myself equal to them. Exactly, I am so blessed. Exactly, nothing was lost. And the thing is, even when you see like resources like that disappear, you're technically still paying yourself, even if you lost it. But I was viewing it as I lost it. By the way, I'm gonna just like check over here because sometimes like there's a couple birds, but no birds here today. Oh well. But yeah, we're gonna take a little quick detour to the YouTube park. I'll explain why I call it the YouTube park. But yeah, I didn't lose anything. I found myself. They say the most beautiful places on earth were found by those who were lost. Exactly. You couldn't have said it better myself, dude. Couldn't have said it better myself. So yeah, I'm so grateful this gimbal has lasted this long. Battery is lasting decently long. Even though for some particular reason it doesn't last as long as it does when it's inside. I can go 4 hours, record like streaming, but outside, oh, I know why there's a difference, because I'm using data. If it was on Wi-Fi, it's a different story. But yeah, I lost. When I say I lost, I really didn't lose anything, because I found myself, and that was the reason why. Because like, imagine for a moment that I didn't lose that resource, or I'm using the word lose, but I didn't lose anything. Imagine I didn't lose that resource, and where I would be. Maybe I would have given up on this journey. Maybe I'd be much further. Maybe I would have had an even more, like a death blow. The point is, everything had to happen exactly the way it was supposed to happen. And sure enough, I'm grateful it happened the way it did. So my phone battery is at 30%. Even though I started off with my phone battery doesn't last long, because it's an older iPhone 12 Pro Max, even though it handles video properly, but my battery is not the greatest. But I'm grateful that it lasts for as long as it's supposed to last. And I let go of, I'm gonna go change the battery again soon, or I'm just gonna get a new iPhone or a new Android or whatever. But I'm grateful for it, for handling it. But yeah, again, I had to change my perspective. And especially when one of my soul sisters, she says, like, brother, you didn't lose that money. You just deposited it to the universe. That's all you did. Oh, we got some other souls. They're taking some photos, so I don't want to get in their way. So I'll just politely walk not in front of their pictures and such. So let me kind of just walk a little bit quicker and not get in their way. Hey there. And yeah, but yeah, I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to have this experience, because if I didn't have this experience, I wouldn't be able to have as much depth to share the stories, to inspire, impact, inform, encourage, elevate. You can say, I'm not educating anybody, because you already have the answers within yourself, but to empower you. I think sometimes we require to acknowledge our disadvantage to learn how to grow and learn, and our lessons, of course, absolutely. We definitely have to acknowledge it. 100%, brother. You're spot on. So normally, when I get to this part of the trail, I go to the left, and that usually is where I call it a wrap on the YouTube live, or when I was doing Instagram and Facebook. But we're gonna quickly take a quick little detour. I showed this on my last walk and talk to those who were on, but we're quickly going to what I call the YouTube Park. And why do I call it the YouTube Park? Well, when I was starting out my YouTube journey back in 2021, when I was starting to record videos consistently, I would come to this park, whether it was wintertime, springtime, summertime, or fall time, and I was just recording videos at this park. And this park has been a very, very healing portion of my experience. I think sometimes, yeah, so, oh, you were educating us on your experience. Very powerful video. Brother, like, I'm just basically sharing. I'm just reflecting back at each of you that even though it's my unique experience, your experiences is, whether it's similar or vastly different, we all have the same, we all have a similar story or a similar path, or and we learn. And when I say learn, we're just reflecting back information at one another. But I do appreciate how the words you're sharing, because they do help. So thank you. I really do appreciate. Oh, I totally just skipped over this. Come on, Andre. We can't do that. I like just like looking at the water from here, and it's making that like water sound. I love the water streaming. And then the other side, it's more calm. It's more peaceful. Same water, right? This bridge is like a divider. You can be more restless. See, I found this a good perspective. You can be very restless. Not to say this is restless, but I'm just giving this as an example. Yeah, the river is like life, exactly. Or it can be calm and subtle. Hello, can you share more about how you quit your addictions? Of course. Remember, I was sharing with you yesterday, or whenever I was sharing, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that I had addiction to like eating like really crappy food. Had addiction to a lot of things. So how did I start breaking them? Well, I remember I started asking myself these questions. I have been addicted to porn since I was 11. No judgment. And I have no judgment for you, brother. I get it. To anyone who watches it, but it's not good for you, for me. No. But the thing is, it's a coping mechanism, because it helps you feel a certain feeling. And that's what I was sharing. Like, what is the feeling that you're seeking from doing? Like, let's use food again, for example, because that was my thing. What is the feeling you're attempting to feel from having like the cookie or the chocolate? It's helping you to feel a certain feeling. Now, are there other ways to feel that same feeling without taking on, like, eating or consuming that type of content? There is. It's about just going within and introspecting and asking yourself, is this serving me? Is this really helping me? Rubicon with the real answer there. But really, it's just like, find the reason why. Like, it's a coping mechanism. I know, because like for me, food was my coping mechanism. And why was I coping? That's the root of the problem. The root was because I was stressed, and the cookies and the candies and the chocolates were making me feel good. And even though it was a temporary fix, that was like basically putting a bandage on the wound, but you're not really healing the wound. I had to go and really dig deep and figure out, well, why? And honestly, you actually have the answer within yourself. And the answer will take you some time to introspect, and you will find the answer. Because I could tell you the answer. I could just say stop, but the thing is, telling somebody to just stop will not do anything. Because when I said you should stop eating this or stop consuming this, Andre, well, guess what? I wasn't going to stop. I was just going to keep doing it. Let's see. No judgment. Life is about addiction, whether it's food, drink, porn, smoking, etc. Exactly. By the way, all this is the famous YouTube park, but right now it's actually green. It's not snowy. Well, there's some snow over in the distance there, but we're in the YouTube park. And this is the swings that I usually play on. This is the park I play in a lot and just have fun. So it's nice to see my park. every now and then. My phone battery's at 23. Dang, now it's at 22. It's just going down. It's going down like a rock. I'm pretty sure I'll make it back to my space before the battery like dies completely. But yeah, this is my YouTube park, and those are those trees that are usually in the background when I'm recording video. But yeah, you know, back to the conversation, you know, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy to break things like that. But you have to ask yourself, well, why? A lot of why questions. There's like there's a exercise that, if you know who Tony Robbins is, he does something called the 7 levels deep, or I think it was Dean Graziosi who introduced the 7 level deep thing. I don't know who did it, but somebody introduced the 7 level deeps of why, and then they just go down the, like, okay, why do you have this addiction to so-and-so? Because this. And why is that? Because so-and-so. And then why is that? And so-and-so. You'll know when you're getting to the root. And it's good if you have someone ask you to be like a mirror. You can ask yourself these questions for sure. But the thing is, your mind will probably block you because it's going to attempt to keep you trapped. Oh, there's a bike coming behind me. Got to get out of the way. There the bike goes. But yeah, it's the 7 level deep. So like for me, for example, I'm not going to use food now. I'll use food. Let's use food. Okay, Andre, why are you eating like junk food? Because it makes me feel good. Well, why is that? Why is that, Andre? Why does it make you feel good? Because I desire to feel good. And why do you desire to feel good? Because I don't want to feel like shit. And what's wrong with feeling like shit? And as you see, you start getting to a point where you might get stuck, and you may have to come full circle and ask yourself the same question again. But you're going to get to a point where your answers are going to start changing. And you're going to see for yourself, that's the reason. You'll know when you hit the bottom, when you start feeling a certain feeling, like you either want to cry or you're feeling triggered by something, especially if you're getting triggered by something. That's when you know you're on the path, that you're going to find the answer. I did a healing modality called theta, mind work, and it also has it has a similar 7 levels deep why question to help people, you know, break through. So like, for example, I would ask them the question, they'd give me a response, and then I would ask them, well, why is that? Similar. And then they would say because, and then why is that? And then they would answer, and I said, well, why is that? And then sometimes they will either start, I'll notice when I see them, they'll start twitching. They start feeling uncomfortable. They feel like they can't speak. They're like they're a loss for words. They start crying. And when you're at that state, that's when you know that you've almost, if not hit you hit the nail on the mark. And that's the root. That's the source. So basically, yeah, for your addiction, brother, like I said, it's not going to be easy. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy. The answer is within you. And it's all about just really sitting with yourself and finding out why are you consuming this, and what is the end goal of when you're watching it? Is it to feel a certain feeling? And can you find a way to feel that feeling without doing that? You're so welcome. You're so welcome. The thing is, like, by the way, we're gonna see the water one more time before we head up. But yeah, I see Anthony retracted a message, but it's okay. I saw the message, and I appreciate you sharing the message, by the way, Anthony. But yeah, you know, it's just sitting and asking yourself questions about, why am I doing this? What is the goal of why I'm doing this? Is it to find a feeling that I'm lacking? Which, by the way, you're not lacking anything, just so you know. You have everything within you. I know the 3D world will tell you otherwise, because we're seeking things outside of us, but really everything's within. The answers reside within. And look, I've watched it too. And there was a while I was addicted to that stuff too. I was ashamed. I was just like you. I felt ashamed for watching, you know, porn and all that stuff. I dealt with that too. That was one of my coping mechanisms in those 20 years. And I'm being vulnerable and sharing that because I desire you to know that you ain't alone. You're not alone. You're not the only one. So many people. But I had to break it because, number one, it was weakening my immune system. Number two, I'd feel drained. And I didn't want to feel like that anymore. I wanted to feel vibrant, healthy, strong. And I stopped doing it. But like, I'm the type of person, when I say I'm going to do something, I just do it. I go cold turkey. Now, not everybody can do that. Everybody's different. That's why, like, I can't just give advice because everybody's different. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Yeah, I feel like it takes away my life force energy and happiness. It does. And that's the thing. You have to prioritize your life force energy. It's basically a mirror to remind you, hey, that life force energy and happiness is here for you right now. And you don't have to consume any of that to have that happiness and life force energy. It's already there. But if you do it, it's just all, again, it's a mirror. I gotta cross the road. So it's a mirror to remind you, hey, to get back your vital life force. My phone battery's at 16%. Let's go. I'm sure I'll be able to make it back before the live. You see how I know you guys can't see this, but it's getting dark here. Like in the camera, it looks like it's still bright, but it's actually dark, or it's getting dark. And you can tell it's getting dark because people are putting on their lights now. So I'm gonna walk through another street quickly and then, yeah. Come on, phone battery, you got this. You can hold on until I get back. So I'm just here to remind you, again, you have the power within yourself to maintain that balance. And it's okay. It happened. Now you have the opportunity to shift. And you have the power to shift. And I'm reminding you that you have the power to shift because you are the divine sovereign being in human form. And in this human form, you have got this. Now, I'm not going to tell you from the motivational perspective that, yeah, you've got this, no. You literally have the power within your hands, your entire essence. And it's all up to you on what you do with that power. Now, remember I mentioned to you that sometimes you have to, little by little. So like for me, how did I really start chipping away at not eating like junk food? Like I told you, I went cold turkey, but other addictions took some time. And how did I start like stopping them? Simple. Little by little. Remember, tiny baby steps, micro steps. If you're consuming it 5 times a day, make it 3 times a day. And challenge yourself to slowly, like, okay, 1 time a day. I'm not saying you're doing it 5 times a day. I'm just saying, you know, if it was like 5 times a day, start breaking it down. I thought I would quit after I found my first girlfriend, but we have been together for 5 years, and I have been attempting to quit for not like 9 years. It's okay. Just remember, this is the thing, don't beat yourself up. Just because you haven't nipped the habit, I'm not gonna call it an addiction, I'm gonna call it a habit. You can undo this habit. Let's just put it that way. You're welcome. I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm here for each of you. You've got this. You really do. But yeah, little by little, don't beat yourself up. That's a lot, because when you beat yourself up, you're perpetuating that energy, and you're gonna continue to feel like shit. If it happened, it happened. Don't beat yourself up. But slowly over time, you're gonna start shifting, and that's gonna start, and you're gonna find a new habit that replaces it. Let's say, okay, instead of me consuming this, I choose to watch like a personal development video, or I choose to go take a run in the park, or I choose to work out, or I choose to spend time with my girlfriend, whatever it is. Little by little, you've got this. Wow, on the camera, it really looks like it's still like daylight. Truthfully, like it really looks like daylight when I'm looking in the camera, but when I'm not looking at the camera, like around me, it's like, it's getting dark. Look at that Santa. I like that face on that Santa, it's cute. I don't know, something about it. I always like this house here. I know the neighbor who lives here, he always dresses up his house. It looks like a candy cane house. I don't know, something about his house is always cool. I think it's those pillars, and he wraps the ribbons around the pillars. Phone batteries at 13%. We got this. We've got this. Normally I would cut through the park, the next park that's coming up, but we'll see, because that park usually, it's very muddy after it rains or it snows, so we'll see. But I definitely will show you. But yeah, always here for you. And again, I shared this yesterday. I don't know if you were, I know you showed up on Friday, but yesterday I was sharing that this is a safe space for you all, for you to feel seen and heard with no judgment. There is no judgment here. I refuse for anybody to cause judgment to anybody. We have enough judgment in the world. Enough of that. I'm done. I've judged countless of times, and I'm done with that shit. And it's still gonna happen. Sometimes even I'm gonna catch myself like saying something or like thinking things about someone. I'm like, wait a minute, what are we doing? They're another version of you, and you're another version of them. Thank you for those. I love that heart emoji. It's awesome. YouTube has awesome emojis. I really enjoy these emojis. They're pretty cool. They're not your standard emojis. I like them. Thank you for those hearts. I really appreciate them. And yeah, dang, it's getting dark hella quick. But again, you guys still see it as like it looks bright still. That means the camera is doing a good job. All right, so I usually cut through here now. And yeah, so that court over there has a basketball court and a tennis court. I bring the basketball in the summertime and in the springtime. Well, I just bought the basketball in the summer this year. I bought the basketball and I brought it here, and I was shooting hoops like Steph Curry, even though I'm not as good as him and throwing like three pointers, but I'm okay. For somebody that hasn't played basketball in like 20 some odd years, I feel like I did good. I feel like I can shoot. So yeah, I usually cut through this park, and let me see, is the grass okay? Yeah, it's okay. I'll walk through it. So I'm gonna walk through it. I was gonna go that direction and then turn right, but I can cut through here, and it's not too bad. But yeah, usually when it rains, this grass is very like muddy and stuff. So it's good. But yeah, this is another park I would come and chill at and just be. And like I said, like basketball court's here and tennis court is here as well. By the way, I love tennis, but a little bit hard to play tennis with yourself unless you're hitting it on a wall. But I have a tennis racket and I have tennis balls, and sometimes I go to like the school that we passed earlier and I would hit the ball for hours on the wall. Similar to like me playing catch with throwing the ball on the wall. I can entertain myself for hours on end with simple things like that. And my phone battery's at 10%. So yeah, we're gonna make it. I demand that the battery lasts until we make it home. Well, I ended before I get inside, but like, yeah. And I'll turn the camera to me momentarily. But like I said, I'm so grateful for each of you coming on and just spending time with me walking the trail and walking back now. That's why I love these walk and talks. Grateful for each of you for jumping on, saying hello, being insights, or sharing insights with one another, holding space for one another. Grateful, absolutely grateful. I have a funny story. So it was one time when I was coming back from work late at night, and I was walking here. This is like before I had my awakening. This is like in 2016. I was walking here and there was like a skunk. And the skunk was like ready to spray me because his tail was up, and I was scared shitless. So I was like, I'm not walking past this skunk. I'm gonna go all the way around. I went all the way around. I took the longest way around. And sure enough, when I came back here, the skunk was still here and he was looking at me, but he didn't like chase me or anything, but his tail was still up. So I'm like, I'm so grateful that I did not walk past that skunk that night. Otherwise I would have been sprayed. But yeah. The thing is, like, if you put the fear, like, yes, they are their own creature, and they have their own protective mechanism, and if they feel threatened, they will do what they have to do. Even though I'm not a threat, they can feel things like that. So yeah, we're back in the neighborhood now, just a little bit further down. My battery's at 7%, but I know I'm gonna make it back. But if I don't, I will end the live very soon. But I'm so grateful. So grateful for you all for coming on. And yeah, we started the walk in more daylight, and now we're ending the walk in more like nighttime. And this I'm now officially 2 hours in this this walk and talk. So that's roughly how long I'm gonna have each time I go live, because like according to my battery, that's as long as it's gonna last, it seems. So it's gonna be about like 2 hours or so. And yeah, 2 hours is a pretty decent amount of time to like travel around and show you all what I get to see. Now, I definitely, when I'm climbing up any kind of mountain or something, I definitely will have to be bringing a battery, like a power bank with me. Well, the power bank's always gonna be with me, and we're always gonna be like wired up. So I'm gonna get used to like plugging in like power and waiting for my like phone to like charge and stuff. But yeah, just by the end of the street, I'll be turning left, and then we're on my street, and then we'll be back inside, but I'll be ending the live before I get in. So let me switch the camera to me. My hand is like cold right now. Let's switch it to me. There we go. We're getting to see me now. I'm so grateful. I am so grateful that I got to come out and do this walk and talk and followed my intuition and my gut feeling to like come out and start the walk and talk as soon as I went outside. So I'm so grateful for each of you. I know you can barely see because it's like getting dark, but like I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for each of you for coming on today and enjoying the walk and talk. And yeah, more walk and talks in a week or so, especially because we're going to be in San Diego. It's going to be quite the experience. And yeah, it's awesome. But I just, again, as you all know, when I end my lives, I usually say that I love you very, very much and that you matter. Because remember, if you didn't matter, you wouldn't exist. You matter. And you are the master creator. And everything you've created is serving you, and creation is finished. Remember that your heart is your guide, and may your heart be your guiding key, always. But yeah, again, I remind you that you are that master creator, and you do matter, because if you didn't matter, guess what? You wouldn't be here, because the universe doesn't make mistakes. The universe does not make accidents, and you ain't no accidents, even though some of you and like a lot of you and like myself felt like we might be an accident. I know you're not an accident. I know I'm not an accident. You are a divine sovereign being that's special. That's who you are. So we are on my street now. I'm going to be turning here. So I'm going to be turning here now. I'll turn the camera quickly so you all see the street quickly. Oops. I'm using my gloves, so like touching this screen with my gloves sometimes doesn't activate. So yeah, we're back here and the lights are on, and now you can definitely see that it's getting really dark. And this is also my first walk and talk where it got dark. So pretty cool. But yeah, so grateful for each of you for coming on. And I love you all very, very much. And remember, you all matter. Because if you didn't matter, you wouldn't exist. And because you matter, because you exist, you matter. And you're a pivotal part of the universe's progression, evolution. You're an essential part of the universe's growth, because the universe is always growing. And you're very welcome too, Anthony. I'm so grateful for you and all of you, really. So let me switch back the camera to me, because we're about to head inside, but I'm going to be ending the live. But yeah, my phone battery is at 6%, so I definitely made it back. So yeah, I love you all very, very much. We'll be back tomorrow morning around 11 Eastern time for the upper body workout, but of course, I'm going to be dropping however I feel and just shooting the shit with you all for a bit, and then we're going to get that workout in. I will have a lovely evening. Thank you, and same to you, brother. And to all of you, have an amazing rest of your day, afternoon, evening, night, or morning, wherever you are on our beautiful planet. And I will see you tomorrow. And yeah, again, remember, may your heart, this, be your guiding key. This, even though I'm wearing my heart chakra necklace, may your heart be your guiding key always, in all ways. All right, love you all. Bye for now. And yes, I made it back with 5% of battery. Hooray! All right, I'm gonna be charging my phone now. Bye, y'all. Love you.